Stock, crypto, and options trading has large potential rewards, but also large potential risks. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the stock, crypto, and options market. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose, and this is neither an offer to buy, sell, or recommend a particular stock, crypto, or option.
Are you ready for a comeback? Are you ready to fly? Are you ready for the moment? Get ready to ride. Calling all the fighters, calling on survivors. Are you up all nighters? We can take it higher.
That time of the week. Welcome to Snipers Live Trading. Hey everybody, good morning, good morning. We got Johnny and Jim and Leo and Jay David and Jack and a lot of you. And Larry, haven't seen you in a bit. How you doing, buddy? Doing well? Okay, let's get going. Let's dive right in to the markets as we always do. I got a little lesson for you today. Let's go right into a market update. As you know, the Fed's meeting next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday at 2 p.m. Interest rate hike, probably 25 basis points, maybe not. The CPI, PPI, and jobs reports came out last week, and they were very favorable, indicating inflation is abating. So we'll see. But it could be a market moving event next week. We're going to take a look at the futures now. I flash this up from time to time, so you'll have a screenshot of it at least if you go to the recording. And we're going to take a look at all these markets right here. So let's hop right in and just move through the progression. Let's go to the S&P 500. Oh, before I do that, pause, hit the brakes. Let's hop in to CNBC. You know, it's so often that I find sniper candidates when I come out here. Ford cuts its prices on its electric F-150 truck by as much as $10,000. Hey, maybe I'll go get one of those when I get back to the States this week, checking out Ford. And by the way, you know, I've been talking about this and just want to give you an open invitation. If there's anything you're looking at this morning, I've got a couple things, quite a few things actually, but if you have any stocks that you are interested in perhaps placing a trade on, please bring them forward in the chat box. My brother from another mother is manning that box, or you can unmute yourself as well. That works as well. Ford hasn't really moved on the news, just checking. It's down just a tiny bit. All right, so there's the first news I saw. Wheat prices jump. Hey, maybe there's a wheat ETF we could look at. And here's some of the biggest analyst calls for today: Apple, Pepsi, Yelp, Chewy, Netflix, NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, and more. So maybe there's some movement there. If any of you would like to look through those and speak up if you see anything great, just let me know. We can make this more than me just trading, but us trading as mastermind. There's no group of minds is bigger than any single mind. And pre-market movers: Activision, Blizzard, Chewy, Yelp, and Tesla. Let's look at some of those here quickly. ACTI, Activision, I believe that's the Activision stock symbol. Or ATVI, that's it. ATVI. There we go, that's it. So Activision Blizzard is up around 93, right about here pre-market. And I believe they're getting bought is the reason for that. Just taking a quick look here. Yeah, it looks like Microsoft strikes a deal with Sony over this Call of Duty Activision game. So that is the reason for it. The stock's at 93. Pre-market 93.74, right up here after the pre-market news. Possible sniper in here somewhere around 90, maybe. We could take a look here quickly. So let's check out this week. 90 currently. For us to be at 90, we'd have to be not 90. I don't know about 90. I think that's a little close, but that's a good spot. Maybe 85, 86. 86 would be the best if there's individual strikes. 90 is a little close for me, although good news, they're being purchased perhaps. So maybe 90, but I like 86 better on Activision. So if we come down to 80, I know I'm bouncing around, Gerardo, sorry about that. And so, you know, we might be able to get something on that one. So put that on the radar. I'm going to put it on my notes here. I've got some notes here. ATVI, Activision, some of the others, Blizzard, Chewy, Yelp, and Tesla. Let's look at see what Tesla's doing here. Tesla is up 6. Tesla's up at 287. There's another candidate. Tesla looks good. The stock's at 287, which is, right about here or so. Yeah, 260 would be, for me, a pretty good of a no-brainer. 280 was resistance as of Friday. Now the stock's well above it, like 7 points above it. And selling at 280 is as close as I'd get, but maybe 270 right here would be a good place for a Tesla bull put spread pre-market. So 270 would be the short strike. Let's see here on Tesla, 270 puts on the shorts. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, some decent premium there, at least when it wasn't up 6 points. But, I would say a good 50 cents is available on Tesla right at 270. We'll see at the market. In fact, I'm liking that one a lot. So Tesla at 270, maybe even 260. So let me put that on my list as a really good one. And then I got a few others as well. Okay, so we'll look at those two to begin with. Again, if any of you want to dig into some of the other stocks, please let me know. Let's get multiple eyes on this busy market this morning. Lots going on. If I go over to Bloomberg, Wall Street cuts China growth forecast as economy disappoints. Chinese stocks, stocks like Baba and Pinduoduo and, well, gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a ton of Chinese companies that might be some good bears for today. So, dig in there. If you don't know what the Chinese companies are, do a Google search. What are the top Chinese companies listed in the United States? And you'll get a good list of them. You know what? I think I already have a list of stocks for that. Let me see. I think I did this a while ago. Let me see if I still have the list, and I'll give it to you. Chinese stocks, I have it. Here we go. So these are some of the top Chinese stocks. I'm going to post those in WhatsApp. Blue Horseshoe loves Riot. Who's Blue Horseshoe, Paul? Is that you? I don't know what Blue Horseshoe is, man. All right. Also put up here, I've got some blockchain companies and blockchain ETFs. All right. So that's another hot area right now with the government really putting some structure around digital currencies in the United States. So all the blockchain companies are all up. Riot's one you probably know about, but Coin, Amazon, NVIDIA, IBM, MasterCard, and these are blockchain ETFs. So use that as a place to look for bullish opportunities. Let's go to Riot. I'll show you what I mean. Check out what Riot's up to, a blockchain company. This is not Bitcoin, it's blockchain. So it's not tied to Bitcoin. Look what Riot is doing. We were all over this one last week in hedge fund, and I mentioned in snipers, I believe, last week as well. But a good looking bull put spread on Riot would make a whole lot of sense. So right here, you have a whole slew of different companies to consider. The last two I just, and these are 4 others that I want to also consider for this morning. So as I go through the market update, I would love if one or more of you would take a look at some of the stocks I've just posted in the WhatsApp group. Lots and lots and lots of opportunity this morning. Now let's see where the markets are going. Well, I wish I knew for sure. Does anybody? Yeah, we're right up here above 4,500 on the S&P 500 futures. We're down a tad bit today, but good God, after the CPI, PPI, and the jobs report came out last week, market is seeing distinct signs of inflation getting better, reducing, abating, and the markets took off all the way to 45.50. That was the highest close. Below the high, that's the next resistance level, 45.50 on the SPYs. Down a little bit today, nothing to be concerned about, just a slight little profit taking edge down to open the markets. Let's look at the NASDAQ /NQ. Same pattern, 15,800 or so, 16,000 certainly resistance, similar pattern. although the NASDAQ is up a slight bit. And if you look at the NASDAQ, you got to look at Tech XLK. Yeah, looks just like the NASDAQ, doesn't it? So strong resistance on the SLK or XLK, excuse me, right around, I don't know, 176, 175, right in there, resistance. We're bumping up against that. The 50-day average is really just telling the whole story. This is the general trend of the stock, up at a 45-degree angle. Bullish on tech stocks, you know, NVIDIA, some of the bigger ones, Microsoft. Look at NVIDIA, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft's at 350 resistance, selling at support. That's the idea on these credit spreads. Let's take a look at the rest. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average /YM. Man, look at that top there, right around 34,750 or so. A nice top right over here, a top. The Dow has not participated in the bullishness that the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ have enjoyed. You know, and partly perhaps, let's look at the XLF. I believe that's coming back a bit though. So the XLF, the banks are starting to make some move. We're well above the 200-day average for about a week or so now. So financials are looking more bullish. The RTY, which is the Russell 2000, you know, similar pattern to the Dow, a little more bullish. We got our golden cross here. Money's flowing into small caps. Well, you got to think about the Russell 2000. Is they're the smallest companies in the United States stock market. All right. They're also the companies that have more probability of not doing well or failing. They're not the behemoth juggernauts that Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, all those are. And if they're moving up, that's a positive nod from institutions, which really account for the bulk of all market activity, all volume. And we got a bullish cross here. I like bull put spreads under here, maybe on the IWM. I know Paulina put one on last week and she profited by the end of the day. So, you know, you might be able to do that today. We've had a bit, quite a big run since last Tuesday. So I doubt you can get much for selling down here at support, but it's a place to look for sure. What else? Let's go take a look at oil /CL. Haven't looked at oil today. Look at this 200-day moving average holding on oil. Oil is one of those, you know, it's a volatile instrument. It's at the whim of OPEC. Oil is a OPEC announcement move away, you know, inspired move away. Oil moves with a lot of volatility. We do hit the 200-day average here. We're dropping a bit. I'm very cautious with oil. You know what happened back here? This was a trade we did. I mean, however was that back in April? Oil was up pre-market because of an OPEC cut, and we came in and sold a put spread down here and profited nicely within a day. So those are the kind of things that can happen with oil. That's how I like to trade oil. Let's look at gold /GC. Gold's down a bit. Gold futures are down a bit, probably because the US dollar is up a bit. I don't have Forex, so I can't tell you what the US dollar is doing as I speak, but it has been tanking. It's up. It was up a little bit on Friday and probably going to be up today with gold down. So there's really no sign of risk off there. Natural gas, we have a trade on this one, just channeling sideways right above the 50-day average. We'll look at natural gas again in just a few minutes. Let's look at VIX futures. They're up a tad bit with the market down a tad bit, really not meaningful at all. No real information there for us. And then we have bonds, which popped up after the markets got excited that inflation was abating, lowering the probability of a massive interest rate hike, and bonds have responded as you would expect, with perhaps no interest rate hike now back on the table. Bonds rose in response. I still see bonds staying below the 200. I think we will get a 25 basis point interest rate hike next Wednesday on the 26th. and that could very well bring bonds down. So if I look at the Fed meeting coming up and what I know about what the Fed may do, which is, I don't know what they're going to do. I would expect bonds to stay below the 200-day average. Might be a good little play to sell a call spread above the 200-day average. And of course, if you wanted to trade these future symbols, if you go to this slide here, you'll see all the appropriate ETFs, and you know what they are. We have some new people here from time to time, so I throw this slide up occasionally. Let's hop right into our portfolio. Before I do that, economic calendar for the week. Nothing's happening today, really. You retail sales tomorrow, that could move retail markets. So look for retail stocks to perhaps move tomorrow. Some of the bigger ones, keep an eye on those. This report comes out at 8:30. We got housing starts on 8:30. That could move the residential home market. The XHB could be a play on XHB on Wednesday. Let's put up the XHB here. What do we got? Ooh, baby. We really hit the nail on the head with our bullish risk reversal and hedge fund last week. We just really nailed this one, and home builders are off, man. You know, they're off to the races, and perhaps a good bull put spread on this one. But wait till Wednesday. See what happens on Wednesday when the report comes out. Opportunity Wednesday morning at 8:30 after the housing starts come out. Jobless claims. We get jobs reports pretty much every week, so we'll see what the jobless claims are. On Thursday, we also have home sales, which also could lead the markets up or down, existing home sales and other U.S. Economic indicators. So, you know, not a really big week in news, but there's a couple things that could perhaps help us out. All right, let's do our portfolio really quickly. We only have one trade that's open, and this was a long-term bull put spread. We still have 28 days. And the idea of this one is because it's natural gas, and natural gas ain't going to zero, not going to happen. It's a commodity and people use it. It's not going to zero. It's got super strong support right here at the 50-day average. It's got support at 6, and that's really the strongest support level. We chose to step up to the heat a bit on this one, and we sold at 650. Let me zoom this in a little bit. So we're and a little bit more, Mike. So we're selling right about here at 650. The stock's at the 50-day average. Pre-market, it's about where it started. It left on Friday. So this thing's heading sideways. But really, it's just set and forget it. All right, I'll go ahead and take the stock. If the stock is below 650 on August the 11th, that means the stock will be down here or maybe lower. Then essentially this spread gives you a cost basis of $6.38. And so the play here that we chose to do was, you know, I'm just going to let myself get assigned. If the stock closes less than 650, I take the stock and then I'll sell the put underneath for whatever it's worth. And that's going to give me a cost basis no higher than $6.38. So the idea there would be is you own the stock at 638. That's your cost basis. And then you just hold it and wait for the stock to ultimately return from whence it came, because that's what commodities do. And so the opportunity, look how high the natural gas has been. So this is bottom fishing, you know. All right, I'll take natural gas, whatever, man. If I wait, a few months, good chance I'm going to see some profit in the trade. So that's the idea. It's a really low stress way to trade. Jeff Sleppen gave us this trade last week, or what was it, on the 3rd? So what was that, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, we're in the trade. Stock's down a little bit, but again, just set it and forget it. Just let it roll. Our portfolio, you know about, we're winning. And let's see. Let's pause for a sec here, Hard, and see if we got any questions or comments from anybody. I don't see any. And again, if you have any trades you want to check out, please do let us know. All right. let's head over here to the pre-market scanner from bar chart. You can get gapping news in a lot of places, but I just like the way this one looks here. And you've got most active pre-market gainers, and I really like the gaps. So we've got gaps up here, 71% on Acumen Pharmaceuticals, 2 pharmaceutical companies right on the top of the list. Now let's take a look at these first 2 here. ABOS. First thing you want to check is if the stock has options. ABOS. It does. Slippage isn't too bad. Now I've got vertical shown here. The slippage isn't terrible. Stock pre-market is up to 11. And let's see where the stock closed Friday at 628. And so the stock is up at $11. The stock is way up here. Now, I like these, but it's so far away. The question then becomes, with the stock at 11, where do I sell? The news on this has to do with one of their drugs. Let's see here. Let me find. Yeah, they have an early pre-market release on their Alzheimer's study. So it's drug related. Good news. Stocks gapped up. That's what pharmaceutical companies do. Stocks at 11. So my problem on this one is, where do I sell? At 10, at 9, at 8? This 11 may hold. I don't trust the movement here. If the stock had gapped up above the 200-day average, I'd sell into the 200. But I don't see, there's so much blue sky here. I just don't know where exactly to sell. Now, you could come in and try to sell at 8, maybe 9, no closer than 10. 10 would be too close for me. I'd say 9 or 8 or lower if you can get it. And if you go to the options here, I'll change this to vertical so we can see the Friday close credit spread prices. And we might be able to get something on this. 750. This is Friday expiration. 750 would be the place to go. I would imagine that we would probably only get that's a 2.5 point spread. We're probably going to get 20 cents on it. So I'm just looking at the 5 spread here to kind of give me a rough idea, as this is Friday's data, not today's data. So I don't know about that one, but it's worth a look. The other one I was considering was BBIO. Yeah, pharmaceutical company. That's what these do. Stock's currently at 26. So stock's up here. This one for me is better. And the reason for that is, with the stock way up here, we could sell a 20 put spread right at that resistance level, which is now support. That's the idea. Stock's up here, sell at 20. 20 is a really strong support level. And let's see. I'm just trying to figure out 8 points. Just trying to figure out. So if I drop, if I sell at 20, I'll be let's call it 7 points beneath the current stock price. And so what I can do to kind of figure out what I might get is drop the put spread to 7 points beneath what it was on Friday, which gets me around to 1250. I don't know if that made sense. I can try to explain that again. It's in my head, but I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. But I'm just basically moving the credit spread strikes 7 points beneath what that was on Friday, because I want to sell 7 points beneath the current price today. And that only shows us 25 cents on a $2.50 spread. So that would be risking 25 and risk $2.25. So what's that, 10% by Friday? That's not bad. Let's go ahead and go for it. I'm gonna put it out there. If I can get that, I'll take it. But actually, I want to get the right strikes here. Selling at 20, and I'm going to ask for 50 cents. So we're going to go fishing on a couple here and see what happens. This is the sniper approach, and I love it. For me, it's a video game, and it's fun. Watch your risk, though. Watch your risk. If you need me to tell you how to calculate risk, let me know. Your broker will tell you as well. I'm going to go for 50. Probably not going to get that, but I'm going to see if I can put a line in the water and catch it. And then here it'll tell you my max loss in this trade. If I did 10 contracts, which is too many, let's say I did five contracts, the max risk in this trade would be 1,000. Now, I don't know if I'm going to even get 25 cents. Let's just take it down to, I'll take it down to 2 to make sure I really contain my risk. At 2 contracts, 50 cents, my risk is 400. That's what I'll do. Send, let's put a line in the water, see if we catch that one. I need to give you the trade as well. Back over here. Did I put that? No, that was the other one. Okay, so that one's got my attention. ATVI was another that I liked. ATVI, if you look here, was, oh, that was the other one I was looking at. That's the one that came up in the news. This one here on APLS is a gap down. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so it's down at 63. What happened? The stock closed at 84. Now it's down here below the 200-day average. Yum. So now I'm thinking about selling at 70. This is not blue sky. All right, the stock's below the 200-day average. For us to get up to 70, it's going to have to get through 65 resistance, the 200-day moving average, and then 70 mega resistance. If you look across these peaks, this is exceptional. I'm going to try to sell at 70 on this one. Slip it. Look at the open interest over here. It's fantastic. Okay, so just roughly, we're going to be 20 points below 84, which is 65. What? We might be able to get some good premium here. Yeah, baby. Look here, man. The mid price at 70 was $5.05 on Friday. Obviously, people were expecting news. If I pull up a chart of this IV chart, you'll see it. Now, we're not going to get 5. So let's try for, I don't even know. Let me just try to figure this out. So 20 points below 85, 65. You know, I'm going to put it in for 250. Actually, it's a 5-point spread. Yeah, I'm going to put it in for, let's put it in for $3. And I'm going to do 3. No, I'll do more than that. That would be 200. I'll do 5 of these. If we can get 3. I don't know if we're going to get it, but we're going to try. And I'll move the pricing around. We got 2 minutes. So that's $1,000 of risk on 5 contracts. So let me drop that down to 2. And let's put it in for $3, man. Maybe we get hit. Mid price is 3 as of Friday. We're not going to get that. I'll put it in though. I'm going to put it in and we'll change the price right after the open. So I'm just basically staging the orders, guessing completely on the pricing because we don't know what it is yet until the market's open. So here's another good one. Paper trade. All right, so those have all been placed in the live feed for snipers. Now the other ones I put on my list here were ATVI and Tesla. So let's take a look at both of those real quick. ATVI and Tesla. Tesla is currently trading at 286, which is right up here. I like Tesla at 260, no brainer on Tesla. Maybe 265. So let's see here. For Friday at 265, let's just take a quick look here. There's 70 cents at 265, 270. I tell you what, on Tesla, I think I'm going to come back and we're going to work that one live once we get live pricing. The other is ATVI, Activision Blizzard. And this is the company that's being purchased. Okay, we're off. Activision is way up here at 90. Yeah, this one is a little trickier. Maybe at 85, very volatile. Let that sit for a bit. We'll come back to it. Let's see what we got in our pricing over here. When was the last one? I just placed the BBIO. What was the one I thought I sent another one in. Let's see, anything canceled? Pull that back up. This was on APLS. Let's try that one again. I missed that one. I thought I hit the send button. I must not have. APLS. Yeah, I want to sell at 70. 75 is better. I'm going to sell at 70 on this one. Let's see what we got live. Selling at 70. Slippage is very wide. I don't care. It'll normalize. Only 50 cents on 450 in risk. All right, so that's I'm sorry, 50 cents on 450 of risk is what, 11% by Friday. That's decent. Let's try for a bit more though. I'm going to try for let's try for 60 cents. Confirm and send. That's the one I just placed earlier. Let's see how that one goes. Okay, the BBIO trade is only 20 cents, selling the 20 puts. I'm not going to go chasing that one. This one's down to 25 cents. So with the width of these spreads, that's about as low as low as I want to go. 50 cents would be as low as I'd want to go. It's 25 cents. I'll leave that sitting for now. All right, let's go after the other ones.
Andrew got $3 on that.
What? Andrew, what are your strikes?
65.70 on APLS.
So you went closer on APLS, 65.70. I was 70.75. Let's see. All right, so you're right at the heat, Andrew. So you've got this, you're counting then on the stock dropping below 65, and you got $3, so your risk is 2.
Right.
It's a good trade.
I thought that's what you originally said was 65.70.
70. That's what I posted, right?
Oh, okay.
No, I did say 65.70. Oops. All right. Now, are you paper trading this, Andrew?
No, that was live. And actually, now that I look at it, I'm closing it because I put it in as a put. That's wrong.
Okay.
That's getting closed.
Yeah, good. Close it out. Close it out. Now, the good news is that as IV comes out, we just got APLS. So we're going to track that one here in a minute. You know, when you get that kind of credit, Andrew, think about legging in. You know, if you $2 on one, then sell the opposite credit spread and get, you know, more than $2 and you have a guaranteed profit.
Yeah, I picked the wrong side of the chart or the options thing.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though, is if you got $3 for a $5 spread on the puts, you could probably get $3 on a $5 spread on the calls and generate $6 credit with no risk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's another, with all that IV there, that's something you can do. All right. So I got filled on what? I don't know if that's real, but I got filled for $1.05 on this APLS credit spread. This is simulated, and Thinkorswim sometimes gives you a very liberal prices. I don't know that that's available in a live account, but that's what we got here. So let me just track it.
I asked for 50 cents and got 2.90.
You got 2.90? It's possible. It's possible on some of these big moving stocks. Let's see if there's anything. Well, let's just put it up here. So APLS. And then I want to sell the 70 by the 75. Sell the 70 by the 75. Actually, not, you know, given the proximity of the stock, you know, we're selling at 70. That's pretty close to the heat. And what we're doing here, I would never get this close. unless there was very strong support or resistance. And this 70 level is incredibly strong. When you look here, 70, 70, 70, all those peaks are right at 70. So that's why I'm getting so close. Normally I would have done 75. So we did 70, and I think it's a valid price because the stock's so close. So I'm going to go ahead and track it. I think that's actually more a valid price now that I look at how close we are once again. 225 and 120 is what we got. 225 and 120. Anybody's playing along with us, please let us know how you did. I'm going to go ahead and track this at 10. I'll drop it probably if yeah, that's too many contracts. I'm only going to track one on this. And I did 10, but I'm going to track this and keep the risk close to or below $500. So here's the trade. Now this is not going to make any sense with the stock way up here. We need to see it down here. It's going to show up down here after the open. So this is quite an aggressive little trade we've gotten here, and we're going to track it. So what I'll do here is save it, and then I'll track it on the sniper board. All right. So we do have, as you know, we have, and everybody has access to this. And what I'll do later this morning or right after we end here, if you go to snipers, you'll see all the new trades, including the risk graph. So you can go right into your accounts with the trade that I actually did, making it easier for you to play and to track. All right. Now let's go back to the other two I really want to look at, Tesla and ATVI. Let's take another quick look at those bad boys and see what's up. Tesla. Yeah, nice. I like it at 270. Let's look at the other, ATVI. So this one's so volatile, man. And like, Tesla, it kind of behaving itself somewhat. It's in a nice bullish trend. I'm going to lean on Tesla here. Let's go to a 1 minute chart, a 1 day chart, and 280 would be decent. I'm going to bring us down to 270 on this one, maybe 260. Let's see what we can get. So Tesla, let's get our strikes brought in a little bit. Let's do 12. And then I need more, 20. I don't need these strikes here. So let's go back. 265 is kind of let me just take another quick look. I just lost my bearing. 270 would be good. 265 better. I'd rather sell at 265. Then we have support at 280 and 270. We could sell at 270. That's also a support level, but it gives us a bit more cushion in case the stock decides to take a break. I think 280 is going to hold on this. I think 270 is even more likely to hold. So let's drop it 5 points beneath and see what's there, if anything. I'm going to need a couple more strikes. Oh, is that all of them? There we go. 265. All right, that's 30 cents on 2.5 points is not so much. 270 is going to give us 61 cents, 50 cents. That's about, that's not bad actually. So 60 divided by 190, 60 divided by 190 is 31%. Heck yeah, I want some of that. We're going to go for the 270. All right. I'm not going to build it. I want this. We're going to go for 60 cents on Tesla. Selling. This is Friday close, 60 cents. The risk, if we got 60, would be $1.90. 60 divided by 190 is 31% by Friday. Yeah, I like it. Let's do some of these. Let me give you the trade. I'll put one up. And this is a very, very exceptional one, everybody. That wasn't advice. It just fits the rules really nicely. So let's see if we can get some of this. Okay, so 190 in risk, that's 200. I could do 5. If I did 5, 190, no, is that right? No, it's like 3. See what that's going to be. 60 cents. Our risk would be 570. So really, I should only do 2 on here to keep the risk below 500. This is really important on the credits. You got to really contain that risk because anything can happen. So I'm asking for 60. I would even take 50 on this, 55. I'll let it sit for a little bit. Actually, not too much longer. We're 10 minutes in. I'm going to get my 50. Oh, there's 58 cents. Let's cancel replace. And let's drop it to mid price at 58 cents. It's 56 cents now. All right, that's more likely to fill here. All right, I'm going to go 55. Cancel replace. 55. I'll let that sit. Okay. Got it.
Got filled the 54 on Robinhood.
You got 54 in Robinhood? What did I get? I got 55, Leo. I beat you, man. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, man. There's no good job. I like that one. How do you feel about it, Leo? Obviously, you must feel pretty good about it because you did it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. You can hold. Definitely can hold.
Let's look at a risk graph for this thing. July 21. I'm going to pop in the prices. We got 340 and 285. I'm going to come down here.
I did grab a 56 on that one, Mike.
You got 56?
Yeah. It's in the range.
Oh, man. Nice, man. 2.85. I tell you, I keep saying this, and the did I even get the right? Let me make sure I got this right here. There we go. This is the win rate we got here is it's just phenomenal, man. It's really almost hard to believe, and I say that from my vast experience with these things. 267.50, and we did 2 of them, 340, 285. Just filling out the form to match the fill. We did 2. We did 2. Let's hit risk graph. What? I got the wrong expiration date. No problem. It's still 30-some% by Friday. God, that's awesome. It's like when this happens, I'm like, is there a camera? How is this possible? It's crazy. 340, 285. 3.4. 285. Come on, Mikey. Use your keyboard correctly. Yeah, 28% by Friday. What? And the stock currently is not at 281. Tesla is up at 290 resistance. Good. That's a multi-month high. Let's just see how long it's been since Tesla was this high. Last time Tesla was this high was back September the 1st, 2022. So almost a year, almost an annual high on Tesla. So that's just phenomenal. That's a really great trade. And the way you handle these, I was speaking with Dan yesterday about all this, and the way you want to handle this is once you're in, then to put an order in to buy the spread back, in this case for 5 cents, which is 10% of the entry credit. It's a good practice. You know, imagine that you could buy the spread back for 50 cents. If you didn't, you'd be waiting for $10 while locking up your premium. So I think it's a good idea. You know, you never know what's going to happen. So take the margin off the table, take your 390 and go find something else. And basically you're waiting for $5 or $10 for 2 contracts while you're risking $390, and that's locked up. So that 10% buyback rule for me is imperative. All right, so I'm going to go back to a couple of ways you can set this up in Thinkorswim, but I'm going to come over here under my position statement, highlight on both legs, click, control click, right click, create closing order, and then set my GTC price to 5 cents. All right, so that's taking the profit when it's there. And that order is sitting out there like a trap. The instant we can buy it back for 5 cents, we're out and our margin's freed up. And there's no risk in the trade, of course. The other more important rule is if the stock closes less than the break even, then exit. All right, depending on when that happens, if it happens pretty much anytime until the 18th, which is what, Thursday, then you're going to lose probably, $150 or so, right about here. Now, if it happens on Friday, less. So that's the most important one, and the one that everybody violates, including me when I was a younger trader, is I would say, wait a minute, maybe the stock's going to rise from here and I'm going to be okay. I've got time. That's crazy to say that. I've got time for the stock to reverse. And then you might go even looking for technical indicators to support your belief, hope that the stock's going to recover. So don't even play that game. Just get out, detach, react. Okay. Now I'll check the chat boxes to see if anybody has, yeah, I see your post there, Andrew. Andrew, did you get out of that trade?
Yeah, I'm out. I got out of it, and then I got the 70-75 call for 65, so I'm net zero.
All right. You're playing to break even now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just it. All I want's, I'm not even going for my trade costs. It's just, if I get to zero, I'm good.
All right, man. You know, Andrew is one of our nights, and we convene our nights tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have our first roundtable meeting, and this is one of the things that we're going to be dealing with in the nights. You know, it's not just finding trades, but it's putting structures and discipline around the trading process so that we don't make mistakes. I make mistakes sometimes. I do. I really do, especially if I get excited, which you know I do get excited. So you've got to have, you got to keep your composure and follow your systems, and, check the trade on the first entry into the broker site, check it again before you hit send. Things like that are part of the club. And by the way, if you didn't get into the nights, no worries. We are the regular communities. This is free, of course, but earnings and hedge fund is just going to get better. So these people that are stepping up are all going to be contributing on the other services, and it's just good for all. So if you didn't get in, no worries. You're going to reap the benefits, and you can always join us at a later time. All right, so let's talk about analyst recommendation. So you know about these. You've heard the word analyst, and what analysts do is they analyze stocks, and they detect with their systems. They predict where the stock's going. And they share their opinions with recommendations. And there's different ones, and they're all pretty much, they all have basically these 5 different categories. And there's some differences like accumulate and outperform and things like that. But these are the general categories: strong buy, hold, sell, and strong sell. Now, there's a far fewer sell and strong sell signals than there are strong buy down to hold. So sell is an exceptionally strong signal if you see them, especially strong sell. If you can catch a stock that has just been downgraded to sell, get out your sniper guns and start shooting, because when that happens, because it's really not that common. When that happens, IV spikes, the stock tanks, find some support, a resistance level, a support level that's been breached, or maybe many, and sell at resistance on sells and strong sells. So those are really powerful. And again, they don't happen so often. And so basically, the other thing to note is that analyst recommendations don't necessarily move a stock. Strong buys and strong sells certainly do. You know, somebody gets upgraded from hold to buy, yeah, it's maybe a muted move, but strong buys, strong sells, those can really move the market. And again, sell by itself, a new recommendation drop to sell can move a stock down. So basically what we're doing is we want to couple analyst recommendations with strong technicals and even fundamentals and news. So it's like it's an indicator. We're going to use it as an indicator. And now, of course, the question is, where do you find these recommendations? All right, there's a lot of places. Tom's Tools doesn't have this, but Fin Viz does. You know, I learned, I've known about Fin Viz for 20 years, but I've never really played with it until Francis joined us. And I've discovered some remarkably powerful and free scanners available on finviz.com. So the way you get into the scanner is you go to screener, and then there's so many indicators here to play with: descriptive, fundamental, technical. You can put them all on the screen at one time. Now, that's the two I want to play with for today. You know, we could continue just to have sniper calls on Fin Viz because there is so much in here. They even have back testing, crypto, forex futures. I'm compelled to register. I might sign up and use some of these advanced features. Not like we need any more opportunities to find stocks, but I do like what's here. And one of the reasons I like it is because under signals, you can pull up stocks that have just had an upgrade or a downgrade. So you can use the signals, and then you can couple it with buy or better. So here's a good one, I think, in Fin Viz to find stocks that have just been upgraded and are currently at a buy or better. I'm going to dig into the software here in a minute, but that's one of the myriad of scanners or setups you could use in the scanner. Now, on the other side, which I prefer, is you can also say, well, what stocks have been downgraded? And I want the analyst recommendation to be hold or worse. So that's hold is like the middle ranking. If it drops to hold or less than hold, then that can be a really nice setup for a bearish opportunities. So those are two ideas, and there's plenty more to play with. So I'm going to hop in here and just play around a bit. Okay, so the other thing I didn't mention is make sure over here you select optionable next to option and short. I mean, we can't sell a credit spread on a stock that doesn't have options. I'm looking for downgrades. These are all the stocks that have just been downgraded today. And then you can also say, well, yeah, what about stocks that are at hold or worse? And then you're down to these four. And so let's take a look at some of these here. The first one on the list is AT&T. I don't know if you've seen a chart of AT&T lately. I was a little surprised, actually. But look at AT&T. The bottom's falling out on AT&T. What's really meaningful as of today is that the stock is now below this support level at about 1450 right there. All right, so now the stock on high volume dropped down on Friday and has now breached the low of the day. This is a typical volume spike trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at the news. Why did AT&T drop on Friday? Well, just today, Citigroup downgraded AT&T to neutral, lowest price target to 16. So it just got downgraded by Citigroup. Now, BMO Capital maintains outperform. That's on TELUS. That's not AT&T. Risk from legacy lead cables. So something to do with, let's just read this.
Lead. They have lead on the cables. So
lead, not lead, but lead. Gerardo, welcome to English, man. That can mean two things. Lead cables. Thank you, Andrew. All right, so they're going to have to replace some infrastructure, perhaps. Potential lawsuits, who knows? 15, no brainer here. Maybe here, which is 1450. Let's see what's there though. Now we may have to, I looked earlier and there wasn't much. So let's just see what we have. So again, I would love to sell at 15. For me, no brainer, 15. But the other thing I want to point out here is we have a system in Tom's tools called Velocity. And what it does is look for volume spikes. So Friday's volume was gargantuan. Normally, we want that to be 3 times average. This is about a little over 2 times the average volume. So it's not quite, doesn't quite fit the rules for 3 times normal volume or higher, but it's still high. Man, 15. I would have, had I seen this on Friday and I didn't do any trading on Friday, that would have been a good place to sell right there at 15 on Friday. But let's see what's there now. 15. So I'm looking at the calls now. See, there's no premium at 15. You see that? There's only a penny. Massive open interest. We could go to the next Friday and there's 5. So there's 11%. You could sell a 1550 call spread for 5 cents, and your risk would be 45 cents, which is an 11% return a week from Friday. So that's probably, that's an 11-day, it fits the rules, 10%, 1% a day roughly for an 11-day trade. You're getting 5 cents. You know, it's interesting, but not super attractive in terms of the amount of revenue or income. Let's look at the other ones. BFAM. Yeah, not bad. What happened? Downgraded. We know it's downgraded. Dropped to perform from BMO Capital, downgrades it from perform to outperform. Not a super monumental tanking. I might be interested in this at 100, perhaps. Maintains underweight, which is like sell on Bright Horizons family raises price target. That was on the 26th. So maybe 100. 95 would be aggressive. 95 happens to correspond to now strong resistance. Was support, was resistance here. Now it is again. Big breakdown. 97.50 or 100 is as close as I would get though. Let's look and see what's there for Friday. 95. Look at that. There's nothing there. Okay, that one's not going to work. Let's look at Conagra. So I'm teaching you a process here and reviewing to see what's available. I don't like that the stock has moved up after the downgrade today. So not as excited. That is a lower low. Multi-month low. No, maybe. Let's see. I don't like that it's coming up though. That's the thing. It is still a gap down, although it's gap down and starting to rise already. 34, maybe 34 would be interesting on this one. That's right up here, that resistance. 33.50, 34 would be decent on the call side. And I look here, if we get, even if we did 33, we'd get 12 cents. No, nope, not doing it. 33 is the only place that there's any decent income. If I go out to 34, there's nothing by Friday. All right, we got a minute left. Let me just check one more. How about, let's do the other side. How about we look for upgrades? And by the way, look here. There's so many different things that I want to try out, like head and shoulders patterns, inverse head and shoulders patterns, checking for earnings before and after, insider buying and selling, resistance levels. They detect support and resistance levels, wedges, channeling up and down, double tops, new highs and lows. So there's a lot we can play with here, and I think I'm going to do it. as we go forward over the next few weeks in snipers. So I'm looking for upgrades, and I want to buy or better, optionable. And then we have these three here, ARMK. If I see one I like, I'll let you know. I haven't seen one that's really good yet. Okay, so this is Aramark. Bernstein assumes Aramark outperformed. So they just got ranked outperform, which is like a strong sell. I'm sorry, not strong sell. Strong buy. And the next question is, where do you sell? 42, 43, a little tight. 42, 41 to me, no brainer. 42 is not bad. 41 is where I'd like to be. Why? Resistance, 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 support, support, support. Now support, even more so now. Stocks gapping up pretty good. 41 is where I'd like to sell. Let's see what's there for Friday. Nothing. All right. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this, but part of the reason we're not getting a lot of premium is because the VIX is so low. Options, there's not a lot of IV and on balance on average across the markets. Chewy, dog stuff, cat stuff. Huh. Goldman upgrades Chewy to buy, announces a $50 price target. The market goes, so what? The stock gapped up a little bit today and now is lower than it was on Friday. So that one is certainly not a bullish opportunity in my eyes. Kohu.
You hear me?
Upgraded to buy from neutral by B. Riley. What?
I think it's Dr. Johnny who's trying to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Dr. Johnny. I didn't hear you.
Would you go back to BFAM and actually put in the numbers selling the 100?
What? Huh. Well, that's very interesting. Let me build it. Now it's 8:02. We're going to go a couple minutes later, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and take us to the latest date here at 10 o'clock Eastern. Tom's Tools resets. 10:01 is the timestamp. I'm going to create this trade and see what it looks like. Brother from another mother. Is that what that means? Got to do it now. Selling the 100 call, buying. Let me change it first. Selling the 100 call, buying the 105. Thanks for checking that, Johnny. I'm a little suspicious because it's such a good credit. IV's off the chain here. Earnings is in 15 days. Let's check that. The slippage is gargantuan here. I mean, if we got filled on this, that would be cool. We're going to be out of the trade by Friday. So even though IV might rush a bit, we're going to be good by Friday. This is showing $1 credit. Well, heck, if we can get filled for it, I'll do one contract. Max risk 398. Let me post this for everybody to see. My brother from another mother. Hey, Johnny, you know what I call my actual brothers we have the same mother? We call each other brothers from the same mother. That's what we are. Hey, my brother from the same mother. All right, we're going to go for $1. Oh, now it's down to 50 cents. I missed it. Darn it. I'd still take it at 50 cents. Let's see if we can get $1 though. Slippage is quite wide. Now it's down to 50 cents. Did you get filled, Johnny?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now we could see if we like 50 cents.
It's down to 37.5 now.
Yeah, we missed it. So you can only do a couple of these in the morning. But if we got 50 cents, that's still 11% by Friday. So I'll put it in for 50 cents, see if we get a bite. It's literally like dropping a fish hook in the water with a bait. Our bait's 50 cents. We're going to catch something with 50 cents. You can try. If it gets filled, I'll track it. All right, with that, that's a wrap. Again, today, as you know, today at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have Matt doing the earnings mastery, not course, but live trade, and he's going to be doing dark straddles. We announced that at the party Thursday night. I finally recovered from it, and he will be doing dark straddles. That's a complimentary addition to earnings going forward. So that's for all of you that are in the earnings fold. And then tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, the nights, and we have some on this call, we're going to have our first meeting, our first roundtable, and we are going to set the table for an amazing year. So please be there tonight if you're a night. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, Hedge Fund Live. And then, Gerardo, we also have the live trading rooms coming on this week too, right?
That's correct, sir. They start on Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, those are free rooms, and you can get access to them from your dashboard. So it's a good place for people just to get together and trade together. If you're in a hedge fund game, you might use those rooms to trade together. All right, that's what I have, everybody. Welcome to a new week. Good to see you. We love you, and we'll see you very soon. Pura vida. Hasta luego.
Bye-bye.
Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Bye bye.